for step 27, attaching the dampers. So you can see here with the front ones, we're going to use step screws to go into the bottom, and then they've got a brass bushing here, and then the top of the damper stay is going to be held on by 4 screws, and same again on the other side. Now for the rear, we've got 2 step screws that are going to go into the bottom part of the arms, and then we've got just the 2 screws in the top. So you can see here we've got 6 of the BA5s, 2 of the step screws, and 2 of the screw pins, and of course our brass tubes. And of course there are our damper stays with the tops of the shocks all attached. So I'll set this up and let's work on the front one first. So I think the first thing we should do is get this attached to the chassis. So if we were to grab our front damper stay, we're going to slide the shocks down, but this is actually going to sit nicely on that piece right there, and you can feel that it fits quite well. So it is on. So let's use our BA5 screws and get that on solid. And again, now that I'm going to be using 4 screws, I will screw in a bit, but I'm not going to do it all until I have all 4 in place so that we don't have any binding, etc. So let's make sure that that's going on okay. And again, let's another one. So I'm getting it in mostly, really, but I just want to make sure that it's all going to fit nicely. So now that all 4 screws are in, I'm going to start tightening this up a bit more. And that's solid. Solid. And solid. Great. So there is the front damper stay in place. So now at the bottom, what we're going to be doing is using our screw pin, but we have to get this metal tube into the shock, which won't be too much of an issue. Whoops, let's grab that. I'm going to stick that, in fact, we're going to stick that tube into, so we'll do it from the other side. So now that is in place, and we're going to go make sure that that goes into the front one. So we'll stick our screw pin down. Just want to make sure that stays correct. Need it to stay in place. There we go. There we go. That's in, and we'll screw that in place. So there is the one side finished. So then we grab our other one and then put the brass tube in there. Then I'm going to make sure that it doesn't slide out and will catch onto the pin as we go down, hopefully. There we go. There, now it's through. So now I can screw this one in all the way. So there we go. There are our front shocks in place, and you can feel like this feels really nice. There's a bit of bounce back, but it's got a nice soft cushioning. So even though this is the strongest tensioner, they're still so smooth. Awesome. So we'll now do the back. So for the rear one, I think we'll attach the top piece first and then the bottom. So if we grab our BA5 screws, you can see that this needs to fit onto the top of this piece right here. And it's just going to get screwed in from the sides. So again, I'm just going to screw in one and grab the other screw. And screw in that side. And it's going in pretty nice, actually. There we go. We're at the end. Extra little twist. And there you have it. So there is the rear damper stay in place. And now it's just a matter of attaching the bottom part. And of course, as you can see, we're going to be using the step screw to go through into the shock. And it's going to go directly into the bottom part of the shock, and we're going to go into the farthest hole on the outer side. So we'll stick that in, and hopefully I can do this. It's a bit awkward with the camera. But yes, that's good. Make sure. So there we go. So there is one of our rear shocks in place. So now we'll just do the other side. So I was finding the camera tripod was getting in the way. So I went ahead and screwed in the bottom of that. So we now have all of our dampers on, and this is now just so smooth. It's great. So I mean, now we're at that stage, and we're going to now move on to step 28, which is attaching the RC unit. So we're going to actually get everything hooked up, get these two taped down, and we'll be off to the races, because I think the next step is in fact getting the tires done. So let's get on to this step and get all the RC equipment attached.